Welcome back to Hello Nigeria. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now it's time for us to touch on our guest focus of the day. Olive and I are joined in the studio by a very interesting man. His name is Joe Adamu, and he's an experiential marketer. You will find out exactly what that is in just a second, and also an event planner. So he's here today to give us some tips and tricks on event management, but also to speak to us more about experiential marketing and exactly what that entails. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. All right, so maybe we should just go straight into the question. Leila had already set the ball rolling as to what exactly experiential marketing is.
Okay, so people always have this notion that event management and experiential marketing are the same thing. They're not exactly the same. So event management is just pretty much managing events. Experiential marketing is a two-way thing. So it has the brands interacting with customers. So pretty much we create events that makes the customers interact with brands. So pretty much, if I, for example, a Wazobia TV now, I would create an event that would make your listeners interact with you in a way where you can get your feedback immediately. So it's pretty much all senses. They can feel you, they can speak to you, they can tell you feedback right there at the event. So that's pretty much what experiential marketing is.
Okay, interesting. So basically it's very multifaceted, and one thing that it entails is event planning. So what are the other things that it entails?
Marketing. So you have to go there, you have to be able to organize the event, you have to sell the event. People have to believe in the event. People have to want to come to the event. People have to want to pay for the event if you need them to pay. Or sponsors have to see interest in the event. So all of these things, you have to find out about the brand that you're going. So that's like the most important thing. You can just run through it like any other event. You have to find out about the brand, what it entails and all of that, and then find out about their customers and see how you can come up with something that would interest both parties.
All right, speaking about brands, what are some of the most important parts of a brand that you try to highlight in experiential marketing?
So I would say, your core strength, I'll look at, and sometimes your weaknesses. So, from far, people don't understand, people don't put like emotions. So experiential marketing is people trying to, brands finally coming out and showing that, we want to know from you, what do you think, things that you feel that we are not good at, we actually want to learn, we want to be better. And so you just put emotions in your events, usually gives you a good result at the end.
Okay, interesting. Now let's head on to some tips and tricks. I'm sure there's some people out there who are watching who want to become marketers or are already in the industry. So if you could give us 5 tips on successful marketing for brands, what would that be?
Study the brand. That would be the first thing, study the brand. I would say also study, as I said earlier, study the customers, find out a lot about them, start early. So, sometimes your brand just call you and say, in 2 weeks we have to do something, So you have to try to start early, convince them to give you time to study enough. You have to also, I would say, how many is that now? That's
about
3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Okay.
Start early, study the brand. I think those are the basic ones.
Yeah, start early, study the brand, and
speaking about the brand, though, I've been very curious as to some of the most common mistakes that brands make. So I'm sure that in the course of putting together different experiences over the years, you've seen several things, several repeated mistakes that most brands make. So what would you say are some of the most common mistakes that brands make?
During events?
Yes.
Just copying, pretty much. So you see, brand A do this, and you just literally just run through and copy. And your guys just go there and they're like, this is not you, because you haven't put your all in it. They don't see that emotion, that feeling is not there. And that's what experiential marketing is. It has to be about you. It has to be dedicated to you. You have to put everything into it. So you can just literally see something when you travel and just come here and just call your guys, we want to do this exact thing.
Okay, interesting. Now, it's also often said that the government has a lot of control over business in Nigeria, which makes it difficult for businesses to succeed. Correct. Based on that and based on the vocality of that, the government came about with the ease of doing business plan. What would you say are the main challenges that you face as an experiential marketer in the industry today?
I would say some of them are the infrastructure. So, so I want to plan an event for a good brand in Lagos. for December, all the all the halls, all the major places to them completely gone. You know, there's not enough infrastructure. That's a major one. Another thing is the cost of doing these things. You know, the brand has this budget that's limited. They want to do this, and to deliver a good, event or a good experiential marketing event, you need a good budget for it, and these guys don't have it. So, and the cost of doing this thing, maybe because guys, they have to import stuff, so it's really costly. So usually cost and stuff is and the infrastructure are usually the biggest issues that we have.
And maybe power too, because
yeah, that's part of the infrastructure.
Exactly.
It's not there. The power is not there. So I'd say a hall would have to power the gen the whole time. So yeah, they'll charge you a lot for that.
Okay, let's look at basically the importance of this. And why I'm asking this is some people would wonder how important is experiential marketing in the grand scheme of things. I'm doing my business, I'm serving my customers. Why do I really need to do this? I'm spending a lot of money to put together this event to meet my customers. And in the long run, do the brands really make a lot of profit after these events are put together?
Okay, so profit, I don't know if you're talking about financial gains. In the long run, I would say, either ways, it's going to help you financially. So the major reason why you're doing this is, as I said, is a two-way thing. You want your customers to interact with you, as opposed to just event marketing, which we haven't spoken about, which is you go to events and you pretty much just share flyers and stuff. Just share flyers, or just is a one-way thing. But experiential marketing, you get to talk to these people. You get firsthand, responses as how these guys feel about your brand and all of that. You get to talk about it. They get to feel it. You guys talk about it. You tell them what can we do to be better and stuff like that. Usually makes you make better choices going forward, and that would definitely help your brand going forward. So yeah.
Okay, let's speak about the power of digital media marketing and social media marketing in this generation and today. 20 years ago, for example, it did not exist. So
Correct.
It's a very recent development into the marketing industry. How has that benefited you and other experiential marketers? And at the same time, how has it also, let's say, not necessarily benefited?
Okay, so yeah, I mean, just like any other business, you don't have to go to a huge media house to pay for adverts now. If you get your people can know about your events or whatever through social media, just get the right things done. So yes, it has benefited in that way. I would say for how has it not benefited? I would say sometimes when you make mistakes, social media can sort of highlight that mistake, and it's gone viral. Just one simple error, and people are seeing this and talking. They don't really see the true picture. So that has its bad sides as well. So.
All right, let's look at the Wazobia FM Carnival. Were you involved in that?
Correct. Yeah.
How was that for you?
So it was good. It was Wazobia FM. From the beginning, we looking at that brand, I felt like it was misconcepted. People did not understand what Wazobia. So I went for a marketing pitch, and I was talking to the boss, who is in his 60s and is a big client, and he was saying he loved Wazobia FM, but earlier in my discussions with Wazobia FM people, they thought that it was only people in Oshodi and all of that would be listening to Wazobia FM. So I wanted them to be able to talk to these people. So we decided to do an event, a cultural experience, so to say, for people to experience this, and it was amazing to see the types of people. People from different walks of life. They kept saying, why can't we do it in Ikeja, where most of the listeners? I said, we're doing it where we feel it's good, and people will come. And they saw that it was not just people from Oshodi or Ketu that came. It was people from different places that showed up. It was good experience. Yeah.
Okay, let's speak about a bit of friction as well. So oftentimes you may find yourself in a situation where your client wants a particular thing, but then you also know what's going to work best for the brand and for the event as well. How do you find that common ground, and what do you usually do in those situations? Okay,
usually my clients trust me to do it because I've been doing this for quite a while. So I just show up with proof that this will work. And if that doesn't work, I try to see from their point of view, from business point of view, because sometimes because it's their business and they know where they're going to. I look at that as well. And if it doesn't work out, sometimes you have to learn to walk away. You know, if you feel like this event or this, you know, this project is not going to end well for you, you just learn to, you know, walk away.
Have there been any point where you had to walk away from a contract?
Correct, a lot of times. So, you know, I have had to say, you know, just go ahead with your events team in-house. You know, you guys just want to have events. You don't want to actually interact with your customers. And I gladly walk away. And usually they come back and say, okay, yeah, so can we do it again? Interesting.
All right. Before we let you go, do you do some sort of trainings and mentorship for young people?
Yeah, definitely. So, so this was funny. Most of my my staff, they're the young people. So when I go in for meetings, they're like, and I find this interesting because, you know, I like to work with young people. They have these fresh ideas, and this is what experiential marketing is. It's pretty much just sitting down and, you know, imagining things and stuff like that. Because these guys, a lot of times they're fresh. You know, they're not boxed into something. You know, they're able to think. So yes, I do a lot of that actually.
Brilliant. I'm asking this because I'm certain that there might be 1, 2, 3, or many more people watching, young people that want to go into what you do, experiential marketing and event management on large scale. So I'd like to find out how they can contact you, how they can reach you if they're very interested in this.
Yeah, so the website is there. It's just olsendecker.com. Olsendecker is OLSENDECKER.com.
All right, so www.olsendecker.com. If you're interested in experiential marketing, learning how the art is being perfected, this is the man to go to, and that is a website to visit. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys
Thank you so much for joining us.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love am.